Hi guys. So a really good indicator of how an economy is doing can be seen in the number of cars being bought and newly registered. Each month, Stats New Zealand puts out the latest data on transport vehicle registrations. The April data has been out for a couple of weeks now, and the May data will be out in another couple of weeks. Now I've put a link to the data in the description. So first of all, this chart shows the new and ex-overseas motor vehicles registered. This captures brand new vehicles and vehicles that are new to New Zealand but may have been used overseas. Now this chart shows all of the registrations going back to 1974. So we all know that the population in New Zealand keeps on going up. And it's going up via immigration just so the government can pretend that the GDP is not completely stuffed. So you would think that more people means more cars. However, that does not tell the whole story, as you can see. Take 2008 for instance. Now we all know what happened in 2008, but just look at that peak in car sales just before the big drop-off. So this drop-off was due to a bad economy and not a decrease in population. And just look at that trough in 2010. It was actually lower than in 1998. And then just after that, we were all off to the races again with money printing and loose monetary policy. You can see in about 2017 things levelled off quite a bit before it took a slight dive before COVID. And this is because the New Zealand economy was not in a good shape even just before COVID. And then what happened? COVID came along and gave Adrian Orr of the RBNZ an excuse to pump again, which it did, but this time on steroids. Naive is not the right word here. I would call it total negligence. But now look what's happening. Without another pump from the RBNZ, where do you think we're heading? Are we going to hit 2010 trough levels again? Quite possibly. Or is the RBNZ going to start a period of loose monetary policy again to save the economy? And if it does, say goodbye to the New Zealand dollar and hello to a massive spike in inflation that may even be harder to control than last time. What a lot of people don't realise is that a period of loose monetary policy is just a period of excessive borrowing. Now that borrowing is often done against a rising asset like a house. This pumps money into people's pockets so they can go and buy a new car, boat or caravan, and it makes the economy look wonderful. The RBNZ makes interest rates low enough to entice people to borrow. And the naive people are being completely manipulated into taking on more debt. But so many can't see it. And so many of the people who remortgaged to buy these items that they didn't really need now have depreciating assets, so they owe much more on something that's worth a lot less now. And if I were them, I'd feel very stupid right now. And this would be followed by feeling very angry at the RBNZ for scamming me. But that's how it works nowadays, guys. Boom and bust cycles. All controlled by the RBNZ. But so much is now being borrowed that we could actually be reaching the end of the RBNZ's ability to keep using the same old playbook. People are tapped out in a borrowing capacity no matter how low they want to go with the OCR. There is just too much debt in the system in New Zealand and on a global scale. It may finally be time to pay the piper. In this next chart, I'm going to just be looking at the April numbers since 2008. Now I think this chart is good as it takes away quite a lot of the noise. As you can see, the numbers of new registrations has taken a tumble. And if the economy does not somehow turn around, I cannot really see how this can go up again anytime soon, can you? I suppose that's unless the government introduces some sort of handout to new car buyers, just like Jacinda did for the rich EV owners like Luxon's wife. But as we all know, if they do that, they're just wallpapering over expanding cracks. They would be better off just taking some short-term pain now for long-term gain, except that loose monetary policy has been a disaster that has just widened inequality. But we all know just how short-sighted these modern governments are. They all just seem to want to kick the can down the road for eternity. But the world doesn't work like that, I'm afraid. The road is finite. So guys, it's going to be good to see what the numbers are in a couple of weeks. And if you want to be kept in the loop, please like and subscribe. Cheers for that. See you in the next one.